Tonight's tutorial is over comparative box plots. That means making 2 or 3 or 4 box plots at one time and then comparing those distributions. When comparing box plots, you should be able to answer the following questions about a pair of box plots. Which plot is more skewed? Which plot has the biggest value? Which one has the smallest? Where's the largest median? Which is the largest range? And which has the largest IQR in a quartile range? And this last little part kind of got cut off on the video, but not on your notes. It just says that note that if you cannot decide which box plot meets the criteria, a good answer would be they're about the same. When you're talking about, if you're saying you can't decide which one is more skewed, just would say they're about the same skewness, for example. Okay, so with the following example, this is comparing 2 different class times and the scores that they made on their test. And so first of all, the 8 a.m. class has more of a skewness, but the 9 a.m. class has the largest value. The 9 a.m. class also has the smallest value. The 8 a.m. class has the largest median, and the 9 a.m. class has the largest range because it had the from 50 to 90. The 9 a.m. class also has the largest IQR. Now remember, IQR, let me write this down. The interquartile range is the third quartile minus the first quartile. And remember, this is Q1, the median, or Q2, and this is Q3. And so the 9 a.m. class had the larger of those. And you can tell just by looking at the length here that this length is longer. Okay, this is a question that requires you to make 2 parallel box plots. That just means they're beside each other like our previous example. And the data for these is on the notes handout that you got today in class when we talked about box plots. It says evidence suggests that a high indoor radon concentration might be linked to the development of childhood cancers. The data that follows is the radon concentration in 2 different samples of houses. The first sample consisted of houses in which a child was diagnosed with cancer. Houses in the second sample had no recorded cases of childhood cancer. And so from the data on your notes page, you can create you can create 2 box plots that are parallel to each other and then compare the distributions. And this next slide shows us how to do that with our calculator. So to plot 2 box plots in your calculator at the same time, you're going to enter the data for the group 1 in list 1 under Stat Edit. Then you're going to enter the data for group 2 in list 2 under Stat Edit at the same time. Then when you go to second y equals to set up your statistics plot, like this screen is down here, plot 1 will be for list 1 and plot 2 will be for list 2. Notice that this is highlighted, the on is highlighted. This box plot is highlighted as we discussed because it's a modified box plot. That's the one we always use in this class. And the list says L1. When you're doing your box plot for your second one, you're going to highlight plot 2. This will be the same, and you're going to change your list to L2. Then if you press zoom and then go to selection 9, that will give you the best window to view the box plots. And then press trace, and with the trace key and the arrows, you can view the 5-number summary. Remember, the 5-number summary is the min, quartile 1, the median, quartile 3, and the max. Now, for some reason, when I transferred the PowerPoint to my app, my box plot disappeared. But if you create it on your calculator, you should be able to see it, and it should also be on your notes printout. And if you don't have one of those, they're available online or through the email that I sent. And when comparing those, we'll notice that the median radon concentration for the no cancer group is lower than the median for the cancer group. The range is larger for the cancer group than for the no cancer group. and both descriptions are skewed right. Now in a box plot you can tell skewed right because the box is going to be more toward the left side. Remember that a skew right looks like this, and so in a box plot, a skew right, you would have your box, and then you would have, it would be more to the right side of your line. Okay, so what we'll do tomorrow in class is create some comparative box plots from some data that we already have, and you'll be responsible for comparing the two datas given these questions that we've talked about at the beginning of this presentation. So please bring these notes with you to refer back to.